What is up, guys? This is your boy Zilla, and welcome to today's episode as I'll be exposing some fanboy logic surrounding Microsoft's price hike of Xbox Live, while most of the gaming industry was shouting down their horrible decision to go up 100% from their half-year plan to their yearly plan. So if you got Xbox Live for $60 for a year, now it'd be $120. And somehow in the Xbox community, they're still finding a way to defend that decision, even though gamers came all together from all corners, of consoles, whether it was some guys on Nintendo, mostly people on PlayStation and the Xbox, defiling this decision and pushing back against something that was just wholly outrageous and unnecessary. And it's sad that some people in the Xbox community, they're just so far brainwashed by Phil Spencer and his charms that they're willing to defend anything this company does, even if it's at their own detriment of getting a good price, a good service, and good games. And I want us to look into one of these opinions today, and I'm not directly attacking this person. Most of the time he makes really good content. He runs a very successful Xbox podcast and holds a lot of weight in the Xbox community, which is why I gotta call it his absolutely stupid take on the price hike that Microsoft did and how their community was going to get screwed over, and while he's trying to soften the blow. So now let's take a look at what he actually said on this issue.
Now on to the question of this video. Has the gaming community lost faith and, more importantly, trust in Microsoft, Xbox, and its leadership once again? The easy answer is absolutely not.
Yeah, you know why? Because they never had freaking trust in them in the first place. Ever since 2013, Microsoft has freaking been messing up and giving promise after promise after promise. They have not been delivering. Even now, with them purchasing everything, right? The only real definitive thing they've done for this whole generation was buy Bethesda. 8 years, nothing but Bethesda and Game Pass, which is the only thing I could say that they have going for them right now. Their gold sucks, mostly due to Game Pass taking up all the good games that would have been in gold. So why does gold even exist but to gouge you into Game Pass Ultimate? Up until this point, they had a free-to-play barrier where you needed Xbox Live to play free-to-play games, even though this is basically a year and a half after Microsoft has committed to the new motto of gamers first. But yet it took a whole catastrophe for them to pull down this thing, which they pulled down very quickly. So they could have did this whole time. And the fact is that Xbox fans, for this whole time that Microsoft was going to remove the free-to-play barrier, when they end up doing the exact opposite and raising the barrier to gouge their customers.
There has been more goodwill and community-first interaction with Phil Spencer, Aaron Greenberg, and Larry Herb than all of Sony and Nintendo's executives combined.
Bruh, who cares? Who cares about how much they interact with the community? The only reason why they had to come out and put on a happy face is because they got no content to feed their customers. They are losing on an unbelievable level, and they're trying to change their image. These people that are worshiping these guys, you do know they're not giving you any products, right? I don't care about Sony or Nintendo's leadership. In fact, if the best thing you can say about a company is by their freaking executives interacting with you, what does that say about your community, bro? What does that say about your focus not being on the products they give you, which has been non-existent? I can't even say it's bad. It's just they're not giving you anything. Instead being on, oh, Phil Spencer liked me. He paid attention to me. Oh.
I say this because there was a change that, considering the size of Microsoft, was swift and an immediate mission of their mistake. Whether you call the paywall removal a pivot to negative criticism or not, is why it's even more impressive.
What? Did y'all just hear that? Did y'all just hear that? It's more impressive that they shift when something negative happens. The Xbox fanboys logic has got so low. They're giving credit to people just for responding and backtracking on bad decisions that they were going to predatorize their community for.
One of the reasons I feel as strongly about the leadership of Phil Spencer is because how he responds to both good PR and bad PR. And if you look at the screen, here's a Twitter exchange between Paris Lilly of Gamertag Radio and Phil Spencer. It's how Microsoft, the Xbox Live team, and head of Xbox Phil Spencer responded that made me put a post on social media that today I'm even more of an Xbox fan than I was before.
I'm retarded?
Oh my god, I really can't, bro. Bro, what? Bro, literally, this man just said, because of a tweet that Phil Spencer said that got his hand caught in the cookie jar trying to price gouge the fans, this man gets on social media and says, I'm more of a fan than Xbox than ever, even though all Phil Spencer did was get on his Twitter and apologize to one fan in a speedy fashion after making the worst decision of his life while he's been in the leadership of Xbox. This is insane. This is literally insanity, and it's why I made this video. This man completely ignores that Phil Spencer literally tried to screw the whole Xbox community over by making a price hike that he knew and signed off on. You cannot tell me this man makes every good decision but doesn't have any part in the bad decision. And in fact, if Phil Spencer was so responsible, then why did he have a team in a random article come out with this dude that is legitimately going to screw over most Xbox fans, instead of coming out himself or him, Larry Herb, or any one of their clowns over there at Xbox to come out with this news in a video talking about why they're gonna hike up the price, but they do it in a random article so they could slip it by people. But people went wild on them, and that's why he made the speed response, because he got his hand caught in the cookie jar, not because he helps you. Phil Spencer is not your friend. Phil Spencer is in there to make money, and the more you realize that, the more Xbox as a community is going to benefit. You putting Phil Spencer and his team on a pedestal is only going to blind this community to the reality of what Xbox is: just a company full of people trying to meet quotas and trying to make money. And instead of getting on them about what you want out of your experience, you're trying to become their friend, and they're trying to lull you into a false sense of security so they can gouge you later. And the fact that this man, all it took for him to make up with this community, to make up with the leadership of Microsoft after they pre-planned for months to gouge the fans, was just one tweet to a famous Xbox influencer. Are you kidding me? Instead of looking at all the fans that were gonna get screwed over in the process. Just absolutely disgusting. Fanboyism at its height, and this is why the Xbox community is in the dire straits that it is right now.
Closing, yes, I believe it was in fact a huge mistake from someone within Microsoft, though I'm happy to say it was rectified quickly and within a more reasonable time than you would usually see a big corporation pivot and reverse a bad decision.
Yeah, right. Somebody in Microsoft, totally not Phil Spencer, totally not their whole management team, totally not anybody at the top, just somebody in Microsoft. Are you serious? And trying to make the excuse that they pivoted real fast because they made a real big mistake and they were gonna lose a good portion of their player base had they not reversed it back. Like, oh my goodness, like, I'm not even gonna go back to him. His video's basically over. But this is the type of fanboy thought that we had to get out of the Xbox community. Because whenever Microsoft makes a decision that's partially controversial, that actually has, some decision, some weight to it, these guys are going to be fully on Microsoft's side, and they might actually go through with their bad decision instead of reversing it next time if it is more polarizing. But you know what? I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What do you think about what this guy said about Xbox? Is it pure fanboyism, or there it is really no option. It's just full fanboyism. Make sure you put that in the comment section. This has been your boy, Godzilla Suplex. Sign off, guys. See you next time.